Hello everyone, it's Just a Dad. So is the Dyson V16 Animal Submarine Just a Dad approved? No, it is not. Now, you can get the Dyson V16 Piston Animal as a cordless vacuum cleaner, which it comes with the cordless vacuum cleaner when you get the Submarine. The cordless vacuum cleaner you can get by itself. It is Just a Dad approved. It's a pretty good, I've got a separate video. Well, I'm going to show you the cordless vacuum cleaner later in this video, but if you're thinking about buying this one, the Submarine, I'm going to show you why it's not Just a Dad approved. It's not a very good mopping attachment. It's hard to beat these Roborock Dyson's Tennicos that have suction and put water down, have water tanks. Now, for everyday light mopping, it'll be okay. At the very end of this video, I'm going to go through I'm going to do the unboxing where I show you how to put it all together, take it all apart, show you the filters, dimensions. I show you everything about it. Now, I did purchase this with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video. This retails for around $1,000. That's super expensive. Even the cordless vacuum cleaner without this Dyson, the Submarine, is around $1,000. Very expensive, but if you like Dyson products, you won't be disappointed. It's an extremely good cordless vacuum cleaner. Now, I do use links, so if you purchase this product off of my website, justadadapproved.com, or in the video description, that is an Amazon link. If you click on it, the product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. It's a way of helping support my channel. This is Home of the Honest Review. I do purchase these products with my own money. That way I can give you my honest opinion. And if you want to see my top wet dry vacs, I have Dad's top picks for robot vacuum cleaners, cordless vacuum cleaners, you name it. Now, first off, there's no suction that comes through this. This is simply just for powering it. You're going to simply just fill this up with water. They really don't talk about adding any kind of solution whatsoever. It is going to spray water on the mop roller, but there's the dirty water tank. You've got to empty this out at the end, which I'm going to show you. You've got to let this dry yourself. These things will start to stink if you don't let it dry in the sun or make sure it dries. So the best way to show you is I've got some light mud here on this hardwood floor. We're going to see exactly how it does on this big mess. Now, when you have that attachment on, you're going to turn it on. It says wet. You've got two levels of wetness. I'm going to go to max. You've got like not so wet and max. Now, you do want to let it spin for a little bit. It has to soak that mop roller. Again, no suction, so the cordless vacuum cleaner is not working. It just relies on a scraper. All right, so we've got some pretty good water coming down now. It is kind of self-propelled. Yeah, you can see it takes several passes on a big muddy mess. I've even got it on max. Now, it is going to get this floor eventually clean, but ooh, that's something I didn't realize. It left a muddy track. That's not good. Now, let's take this Roborock, for example, the F25 GT. These are designed for hardwood floor cleaning. They've got built-in suction. They self-clean the mop roller when it's all done, and then they dry it. But these are simply just for hardwood floors only. Okay, so let's do the cleanup. The cleanup on this, you got to slide this out. You got to be really careful. There's the roller. You're going to take it off. You need to clean it yourself. You need to clean this. Take this off. Now that's the dirty water. I mean, cleanup is rather simple. It's going to take you a little bit. There's nothing electrical in this bottom part. Now, you don't want to get water that has, see, this is where this has electricity, or you don't want to get this wet. But I need to clean that area right there. So that, and this doesn't move. So that becomes an issue. And cleaning the roller, like, you're definitely just going to need to clean this roller and then let it dry. Or it will get an odor on it. And that can be kind of a hassle. So I am going to show you this next part, the cordless vacuum cleaner. I'll go through all the attachments. We'll clean a dog bed. We'll clean over here in the world famous Just a Dad cleaning studio. But in my opinion, I might have made this tray like a cleaning stand, put water in it, and then put the head in here and sucked up water to kind of clean this area maybe. I don't know. And their instructions have so much to be desired. I hate when there's just pictures. I mean, this is actually a little pretty intense as far as setting up. I know it looks pretty simple, but if you've never seen this before, I have reviewed their older one, which I didn't approve. And it can be very intimidating. Okay, on to the cordless vacuum cleaner. Then I'm going to do the unboxing. I'm going to show you just the vacuum cleaner part now, the actual review of it. You can purchase the vacuum cleaner by itself without the submarine, and the vacuum part is Just a Dad approved. Cordless vacuum cleaner, Just a Dad approved. It absolutely is. This thing is a beast. Now, it comes with a pretty steep price tag. It retails for almost $1,000. Now, is it worth it? Yes, if you have a large home that's extremely dirty and it's got lots of attachments, which I'm going to show you. But the best way to show you is we're going to clean up a big mess on hardwood floor and on carpet. Now, if you want to find the best cordless vacuum cleaners, best robot vacuum cleaners, check out my website, justadadapproved.com. This is the home of the honest review. I do purchase these products with my own money. I wasn't paid for this video, but I do use links. If you purchase this product off of a link off of my website or the video, the product's not going to cost you anymore, but I do earn a small commission from the sale. So probably the number one reason you would buy this is for battery length. This has an extremely large battery, and it did my entire home, over 2,000 foot square home, had no problem doing the entire home with that battery. Now it is a trade-off. It's a little bit heavy. But pushing it on carpet's a little heavy. Now it does have 3 modes of operation. We're going to do auto mode. It's going to increase the suction power as it senses that there's more dirt on the floor. So turn it on. Now it's not super hard to push on hardwood floor. It's just a little on the heavy side, but not too bad. You got to like this type of grip though. My wife doesn't like that. So it switched thinking it was on carpet there for a minute. Now it does only clean going forward. You can see what it's picking up. Because that green light should be on right now because it's on hardwood floor. Kitty litter. Dysons have a hard time with kitty litter sometimes. It was not able to get all that kitty litter. Back on. So see, I want to talk about this. When that green light went off because it thought it was on carpet. That is sort of a shortcoming of this cordless vacuum cleaner, is the sensor that determines if it's on hardwood floors or carpet. It must be like suction based because there's not an actual sensor on the bottom. I prefer like a Shark vacuum. These actually have sensors that sense, like see that little white thing? That's a sensor that tells you, it must be shooting a signal down that tells you when it's on hardwood floors or carpet. And the transition is seamless with those. Let's turn it on, I'll show you. Carpet, hardwood floor. Carpet. This is actually a really good cordless vacuum cleaner. Comes with an auto empty dock. Back to the Dyson. So that big mess, it thought it was on carpet. Now, to be fair, that's not the head you're supposed to use for hardwood floor. I don't always like changing the heads on it, but let's try it out. This is the head for hardwood floors. Back in auto mode. And now that's super lightweight. Wow. Much better job. Let's try the much better job with kitty litter. So I do recommend if you have a bunch of hardwood floors to change the vacuum head on it. That one is designed. Now there's this little scraper. So as you're going through your home, there's a screen on here and you can clean that screen off and compact it. It's not going to auto empty. Just push this down and you'll see. Well, I got a bunch of debris over here. Normally it's just hair. It's like a hair compactor, but I'm picking up so much debris, it's not able to compact it. But when you've got a bunch of dog hair, it'll compact it down real small and clean those screens off so that you have continuous suction. And no hair wrap on this hardwood floor cleaner. This is the one we'll be using for carpet now. We're going to put it back on. Big mess on carpet. Okay. Big mess on carpet. Kitty litter on carpet. Now it did struggle with a little bit of that hair, but not too bad. That was just some dirt, and we got a hair wrap, a clump. You can hear that suction going up and down. That helps save battery life, but you can just go right to boost. I got 5 minutes left on boost. Now, when you got it on boost, it's a little harder to push because it's really sucking into that carpet. So you're going to get a workout if you're on boost. But I do feel like my carpets are really, really clean. Wow. Wow. Now it's time to auto empty. Take the dustbin or take the wand off, and you're going to use the other part here. And that's going to open the lid. Whoops, in a trash can, it'll be a lot easier. Then you're going to move this scraper down. That cleans those screens off. See? And you've got to make sure that you put this back and it clicks. If you leave it, it won't work. It'll tell you. Those screens are what's getting cleaned by this. That helps maintain your airflow. Built-in crevice tool is amazing. Now let's try the anti-tangle attachment for dog beds. They want to go to boost. Dog beds are hard to do. That's doing a better job. It's still leaving some dog hair on there. It's not getting it all off. Going forward's a little bit of a challenge. But there's everything it pulled out of it. Wow. Wow. And we did get a few hair wraps on it. I was kind of surprised. All right, let's take that off. Ooh. And some hair didn't get sucked up in. Interesting. So let's compact it. Empty it. So not perfect by any means. So not perfect in my extreme testing, but I'm going to show you a video now of taking it to my home. I absolutely loved it at my home. You know, at home you don't necessarily always have the big extremes like we did here, but at home, everyday cleaning, it just did an amazing job. I was able to vacuum my entire home. Again, you've got to kind of like this style. You know, this is, again, my wife does not like this style, even though this is a really good vacuum. She doesn't like using it just because of this kind of grip. Now, you don't have to push a button or anything. Now, it kind of varies. You can see this one's a little different. The weight's kind of on the front side of your hand instead of right there at your... So if you kind of... This is a really good one. It does a good job. The Shark Speed, they call it. Now I'm going to go through the complete unboxing of the Dyson V16 Submarine. This is everything that comes in the box. I'll go over dimensions, how to put it together, how to clean the filters. So the first part of this video, I'm going to go over the actual wet dry floor mop cleaning submarine. And then the second part of this unboxing, I'll go over all the aspects of the actual vacuum cleaner. Now the first thing you're going to notice is you're going to attach this to a vacuum cleaner that normally has suction. This does not have suction. That is closed off down there. This is strictly to provide power from the power head down here to turn this and put water on the floor. There is no anything that goes up into the vacuum part. This is strictly a storage tray. Just put the front in. That's just going to keep it from getting your floors wet. So let's go over this unit. It's kind of detailed. Press this button. Well, first let's just look at the bottom of it. Okay, so see, that's going to hold the water, and then it's going to spray water on this mop roller. There is a little pump in there, and it does spray water on it. And then this is going to mop your floor, and it takes everything inside. There's a scraper into a dirty water kind of like tray. So let's press this button. This all slides out. Now sometimes the brush roller will stay here. It's on this motor. Now you can't get this motor wet. Now, if we had to, we could wash this brush roller. Let me just measure that real quick. So it's going to mop roughly 9 1/4 inches or 23 centimeters. And thickness, it's about 2 1/4 or 6 centimeters thick. So again, wash this, but let it dry. And it's going to be important to even let this dry when you're done, because this will start to cause an odor. Let's turn our attention now to this. You're going to turn it like this. This is how you take this off. You're just going to fill that up with water. It doesn't talk anything about putting any kind of solution in there, just water. Then you put this in. This will only go one way. It's kind of keyed. There is a little filter. You may have to rinse that out once in a while or something, but put that in. Make sure it's tight. Now let's go turn our attention here. After you're done, so the mop roller is here. That's where the water gets sucked up from this, from here. So it's going to get sucked up. There's a pump here. I'm not sure exactly where it sprays out. I think it's right here. I think between the metal scraper and here, yeah, there's some little slits. That's where the water is going to get sprayed out. I think it's those little slits right there, all along there. And that's a metal scraper. That's what's going to do the cleaning action of the mop roller. And then this is going to rely just on, there's no suction involved. It's just going to rely on the dirt and material getting scraped up into this chamber. Now, it's going to be messy cleaning it up. Like, you got to take this little off. You're going to, everything, this is a big chamber. It's going to hold everything, and you're going to dump it out. You'll have to get a cleaning brush. You want to rinse all of this off, and you want to let this dry, because this will have an odor if you don't. But to put it all back together is a little tricky. Make sure that's clicked into place, okay? I have found it easier to take the brush roller, put it on the motor first. There is a track here, okay? You've got your water filled up. You're gonna slide it into this track right here. And again, there's what's scraping it, so slide it in. It'll only go one way. Now here comes the tricky part. Sometimes this gets turned and you'll shove it in, but this will be out a little bit. So make sure when you click that into place, that's nice and flush. There's gonna be a little space there, that's okay. And now you're gonna be using the vacuum. It's gonna be turning this, spraying water on it and scraping off everything into this red chamber. It's an okay floor mop. It's not going to do a great big mess, because there's no suction involved other than just complete scraping only. Overall, this clean head, 10 inches by about 7 inches or 18 centimeters. Height, 6 centimeters or about 2.5 inches. Now, the machine's gonna know when you have this all connected. And I go to turn it on. See, it knows I've got the wet attached. And then I just hit start, or I can go, there's 2 levels. Small, maximum or minimum for wetness. and then see, it turns the suction off, and it's strictly just using that down there. Now I'm going to explain everything else that comes in this unboxing, all the vacuum cleaner part. Dyson V16 Piston Animal Cordless Vacuum Cleaner. Here's everything that comes in the box. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put it all together. I'll go over dimensions. We'll take it apart. I'll show you how to clean it, and we'll show you how it works. So here's everything that comes. You get the power head here down. You get the wand. Here's the actual vacuum. You get this little anti-tangle screw, another cleaning head. This is for hardwood floors, a wall mount, and here we have the cable for charging it. Now the battery is removable, but you can charge it just like this or through the dock. Okay, here's the actual vacuum part. Now down back here, you've got two buttons. This is the power button and this is the mode button. So you're going to turn it on, and you got max, auto, and eco. So let's turn it on. Boost, eco, and auto, and then turn it back off. There's no trigger to press or anything. It's going to run until you turn it off. We do have a HEPA filter right here. Take it off. This is washable, but you got to let it dry in the sun. Put it back on. Now, you're going to empty out this dustbin. It's a little different. This is called the compactor. So that's going to scrape the screens, but also compact everything. You can do that just to kind of keep it running for a while. But when you eventually have to empty it, you're going to take it, open it with this lever, and then push everything out. So let's do that again. Open the lever with this, and then push everything out with that. And then you simply just got to close that. Now we can take this apart. So open it up, push these, there's a tab on each side. Push that. This is for cleaning. And then this will come off. We can see there's the design. There's the scraper. There's screens here. There's a U-shaped screen down here it's going to clean. I don't think we can take this off, the red part. And you don't want to get any kind of water into the vacuum at all. So this would just be some mild scrape, mild dusting, blowing it off. This now you can wash. I keep hearing there's a flapper. So let's put it back on. There's a track here. So you're going to put the track right here. And you should click it into place. Very nice design. Has a built-in crevice tool. That's very, very nice. Let's measure the overall. This is 17 inches or 44 centimeters. Height looks like about 11 inches or 17 centimeters that way. Now for stair cleaning, you can connect this right to the power head. And you're going to turn it on. Okay, I just learned something. If you don't have the dust compactor all the way back, it won't let you start it. So I thought I had it all the way back, but it clicks. So that's not good enough. It has to be clicked. Now I can, for cleaning stairs. Now when you're in auto, it's going to do two things. This power head can sense floor type. So when you're on hard surface, it's not going to spin the brush rollers as fast. When you're on carpet, it spins those faster. It also does a second thing. It's going to detect the dirt coming in, and if there's a bunch of dirt being picked up off the floor, it's going to ramp up suction. That's in auto mode. That helps extend battery. So if your floor is really clean, it's kind of running at a lower speed to help extend the battery life. Let's take a look at these two cones. This is for hard floor and carpet. Now you do get this. This is strictly just for hard floor. It's kind of like I call it kind of like a polisher, but it's strictly just for hardwood floor vacuuming. This one can do both. Overall, 9 1/4 inches or 25 centimeters. Front to back's about 5 or 13. Does have a really powerful LED light there. Now this lever here is for letting air in. So if you have really thick carpet, you're going to want to put it over here to thicker carpet. That opens those up to let more air in. So it's not as hard to push. All right, let's take the cones out. There's a lever here. We're going to lift that lever up on both sides. Okay, don't break it. It's kind of fragile. Kind of tilt it out of the place. Looks like we got some brushes here. Here is the actual cones. Yes, they do come off. Wow, very intricate. Red goes to red. And it's got like a screw drive, so you're going to put it on, kind of screw it in. There. This one, they just kind of turn off. I don't see any real comb or anything. Oh, they're conical, so the long hairs are not going to wrap around it. This is floating on this end. They're going to wrap around and then be directed to the end where they get sucked in. That's how that works, yeah. This is pretty nice. This is some brushes. So let's put it back on. Yeah, you're going to put the front in. It just kind of goes on and then clicks onto place around that light and back here. This is for wheels and everything. Again, this is for hardwood floors. It's got a really powerful green light also. And then this one, I like it comes apart. Lift this lever up and then you can take this out. You can wash these. Same with those cones. You can wash those. You just have to let them dry in the sun. You don't want to get any water though on the motor. Same with the motors down here. No water on the motors, but you can wash. These things get extremely dirty. All right, let's put it back. Kind of rotate it and then there. You have to kind of go in at an angle, then rotate it down. Locked into place. This cleaning area is about 8 3/4 overall, 10 or 25 centimeters. I like to call this like the pet hair attachment. You can put it on the end of the wand, but it's powered. It's got a motor that's going to drive that conical shape, and again, the long hairs will not wrap around. They'll be directed to the end where they get sucked up in. This comes apart. It's a little tricky. It does have this like floating head, but you're going to lift this lever up, and then it separates. You'll see where the separation is. Yeah, you just kind of. I can take this off. I can clean this. Wow. Again, there's a motor in here. Don't get any of this wet. Looks like I could clean this, but make sure you let all of this dry really good. Let's put it back on. Kind of put it on. This is where the tricky part, line it up. There's a track that has to go into, and then you get it close, and then as you bring that down, that's going to lock it into place. Wall mount's a little different. You're going to mount, I didn't see any screws, but you're going to mount this to the wall, then it clicks into place. There's where the charging cable comes through. Now they put this on tape because this is loose. The older ones, that was kind of hinged. So that's where you're gonna run the charging cable up through. There's a little track for it to go into. You're gonna put it through here. Then it's gonna, but first, a little tricky. There's a little spot for it to sit, like a little cup. I don't know if you can see that cup or not, but there's a cup for this part to sit in. So it's gonna sit in that cup at an angle. Then you're going to take this is going to clip on, it's going to snap into place and hold it. There. Not too bad, that way it sticks up like that. Once you've got that, now you can kind of take the cord, put it in there like that. I would even put it like that. There's a little, that's to keep it from being pulled out. And then when I click this down into place, it'll be up against the wall. Cable is 6 feet long. I'll measure this. You know, overall 11 inches, 28 centimeters left to right. You know, you're looking at about 4.5 or 12 centimeters. Sticks out from the wall about roughly 3 inches or 18 centimeters. And again, your tools, they click into place. That's nice. One of the coolest things I probably should have led with is this wand. Now it's got a built-in crevice tool also, but one of the coolest things about it is it clicks on, that's to release it here. It's got this new release, this is for down there. So if when I've got this on, I don't have to bend, I can just, that's pressing that button for me to release it. It'll make more sense when I show you, but that's the neatest feature. I don't have to bend down. Everything snaps on relatively easy. There's not a lot of friction. I don't need a lot of strength to do all of this. It feels like it's very well designed and thought out. Now to the wheel, which would be the floor, to the handle, about 42, overall 44 inches, or 113 centimeters. Now Dysons do lie flat. They do it a little different. You can rotate the handle. You get a maximum reach of about 51 inches or 130 centimeters. So you can find this actual review on my website, and you can see Dad's top picks for robot vacuum cleaners, cordless vacuum cleaners, wet dry floor mops. This is a brand new website that's got all the reviews and my top picks in one place. I've purchased over 200 robot vacuum cleaners with my own money, and I also purchased all these other products with my own money. That way I can give you my honest opinion. I've come up with a Dad's proven scoring system. It's kind of a common sense approach to product reviews. Thanks everybody for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit the like and subscribe button. Also check out where you can find all my approved products on my website, justadadapproved.com. You'll see a little link to it here at the end of the video. If you click on that, that's going to take you right to my website.